I'm so glad you mentioned it, because as brilliant as Elie Wiesel was that day, having heard it many a time, and Bill Clinton, those remarks, and I was privileged to shake the hand of the German ambassador to the United States and thank him for his moving remarks, and the very fact that there were 10 German consuls there at the same time was a great comfort to me, because I was at Dachau on August the 4th, 1959, in my last year of rabbinical school. And I wasn't sure, I wanted to become a rabbi, etc., etc. Eric and I were traveling. That morning, that day, we went to Dachau in the morning, and it suddenly crystallized, if there was any other reason to become a rabbi, this was the real reason, not to grant the posthumous victory to Hitler. That was the crucial. I was ordained the following June, and I had the privilege of going back to Dachau in May of 2003, where there are 3 chapels dedicated to Catholics, Protestants, and Jews, and to lead a group of rabbis in an afternoon service there. I proudly have a picture of myself doing so, and right next to it is the word Zachor, remember. And the privilege, I just want you to know, we live in a tremendous village, and I share this, and thank you, Cal, because if I didn't do anything else the 33 years at Niles Township, I had the good sense to call upon you to speak. In 1987, we were privileged when Mayor Van Dusen spoke, and his remarks were well worth repeating that April the 19th. Not that Cal couldn't have done equally as so. I presented a resolution honoring Mayor Smith. He was being honored that night down at Navy Pier, and he had the guts as a Roman Catholic to stand up and do what he did. And this is a resolution that I wrote out, and I came upon it recently, that I hope will be in the village on the ground floor. Whereas Mayor Albert J. Smith, mayor of the village of Skokie, is retiring on December 31st, 1987, after almost 23 years of untiring service to his community. And whereas Mayor Albert J. Smith withstood the onslaught of neo-Nazism in its 1978 planned demonstration throughout the village, and whereas Mayor Albert J. Smith has been a sensitive, supportive, diligent student of the Shoah, and spearheaded the erection of a memorable Holocaust monument to those who perished and must never be forgotten. And whereas Mayor Albert J. Smith has lent himself unstintingly to promote harmony, brotherhood, and peace among all peoples, regardless of religion, creed, or color, be it resolved that the Rabbinic Cabinet of the United Jewish Appeal in annual session at the bicentennial city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, do hereby extend its heartfelt appreciation, recognition, and best wishes to Mayor Albert J. Smith and family for future life, health, and blessing. And it was unanimously adopted Wednesday, December the 9th. I'm proud to say that the village had the good sense, even when it defeated the first site for that museum, to choose the site that it's on now. And it's extra special for all of us to see the Calvin R. Sutker grove as we drive into the museum off Golf. So I've heard you 4 times, Cal, and each time it's great. Thank you.
I want to make another point to you. I made that statement to Jesse about the civilians, and Jesse said, Cal, there aren't just Jews in this camp. He said, there are Catholic priests here, there are gypsies here, there are gays here, there are people here who were Protestant, who spoke out, who later became among the righteous Gentiles in Israel. And we ought to ask them to speak to people in the area who are denying it, who say they don't know what it was. And you want to know? I think they did that. And I want to make that clear. I know for a fact that there was a Roman Catholic priest who spoke German fluently. I took 3 years of German in high school, so I spoke it poorly. But he did. He said, don't deny what is true, because to deny it only makes you part of the evil. You may have stood aside and watched it, and that's what probably happened. And you did not fight against it because you were fearful of your own lives, but now be fearful of the next generation. and tell the truth. And the rabbi referred to this German ambassador to the United States making that speech in Skokie this month. That's historic. There was somebody else who would. Yes, sir.
Are you still in contact with Jesse?
No, Jesse died. He was 10 years older than me, and I'm 80. I'll be 86 next 2 weeks. So we did from time to time after the war, but not. He went back to New Jersey, and I came to Illinois, and our paths did not cross except on the telephone from time to time. We lost track of each other. I lost track of a lot of guys who, a lot of us didn't want to see each other again. Well, thank you.
There was a region-wide meeting, and I was invited to be up there for a memorial service. And I came up there on a Saturday morning, and one of the speakers was a 40-year Rotarian by the name of Sam Harris. I was surprised to see him there. His remarks were fantastic. He happens to be the president of the foundation. And he was talking about how he, like Cal, was urged to talk about what the experience was. He was one of the youngest survivors. He was 8 years of age when he was adopted by a Northbrook family. What's amazing, he spoke that morning so movingly, and he credits his Northbrook chapter that meets up at Mission Hills with encouraging him to go further with his dreams and to pursue it. And he was the one, who lit the fire under J.B. Pritzker and others and raised the funds to make that museum the reality that it became, thanks to good people like we have in our own community. So that's the Rotary connection.
Thank you. Thank you. Did I ignore it? I'm sorry, did I ignore it?
I just want to ask you, was it not common knowledge about the concentration camps even here in 1944?
Well, we knew about it, I guess, but we didn't understand the totality of the exterminations and the killings and murders that occurred. But my point was, we who were going into combat, seeing a film of what to expect in terms of combat, in a 7-hour videotape by Frank Capra, 15 seconds were devoted to the mention of a concentration camp. So I have to believe the United States government had to know about it. If Jesse Avansky, a 29-year-old New Jersey Catholic, could tell a 20-year-old Jewish soldier, get rid of your dog tags because what they're doing at the concentration camps in Poland is beyond discussion, beyond talk. It's torture, it's extermination. So if Jesse knew about it, I have to believe Franklin Delano Roosevelt had to know.
He did.
He did. Okay. Thank you.